What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
What's up, y'all? It's Derrick Henry here.
Just wrapped up our week 1 game.
Wrapped up our week 10 game.
Welcome to the Rearview.
What's up, guys? Fred Warner here. Just had some final thoughts on how the Super Bowl went down. So welcome back to the Rearview presented by Experian. So preparing for the Super Bowl is unique in the fact of that you get 2 weeks, right, to prepare for this game. People think that, all right, you're kind of prepping for 2 weeks straight for the opponent, which you are, but usually each team has their game plan done within that first week. You know, it's a regular work week where, you know, things are normal-ish that first week before having to obviously get on a plane and go to your destination. And then there's a ton of media when you get there, all the media obligations, family being there, the hectic atmosphere of the Super Bowl is hard to get in like a quality work week, right? So you want to make sure you have your game plan set and then just touch-ups all throughout that week leading up to the Super Bowl. So that's the unique part about it, but the emotions of the game is also unique because, I mean, it's the Super Bowl. Like, this is a moment you've been dreaming of your whole life, and knowing that everybody's going to be watching, how do you manage those? And I feel like, you know, of course, people talk about all the time of just treating it like another game, but it's true. You have to approach it with the same intentions, because it's so easy to get caught up in the gravity of the game, but at the end of the day, you're playing a 60-minute football game. So, hey, you prepare all week as hard as you possibly can, as detailed as you can, to then ultimately play the game as hard as you can, not out of the ordinary in terms of just going out of your way to make the splash play. Like, the splash play will come to you, you know, as long as you are prepared for your moment, right? And so that's something that all players are dealing with in the Super Bowl, is that balance, you know, of maintaining the same flow that you've had all season long and not losing that. What's it like in the locker room before a Super Bowl? It's not something grandiose. That's completely different from what it's been all season long. You know, you got to remain focused on the plan of attack, right? Are these grand speeches that are being given? No, I mean, it's the same thing that's gotten you to that point. You know, you keep that same mindset going into the game, and ultimately it's what plays are going to be made in the game that's going to dictate who's holding the trophy and who's not. You know, it's not about the rah-rah speeches. It's not about you know, anything of that sort. It's just about staying locked in and being cool, calm, and collected all the way through 4 quarters, 5 even. Talking about the game a bit, Cooper DeJean, pick 6, putting the Eagles up 17-0. I thought the Eagles, you know, man, they came out humming. Their defense has been spectacular all season, and they showed up in a big way in the biggest moment. Cooper DeJean, rookie cornerback, punt return specialist, making his first interception of the season in the Super Bowl, and for a pick 6 on Patrick Mahomes to help lift their team to a win. I mean, that was a huge moment, because 17-0 to start the game, it's pick 6. That's big time. The momentum swung completely into the Eagles' favor when he made that play. And is it hard to come onto the field after you scored a touchdown? Yes, from personal experience. I scored a touchdown in week 4 against the Patriots, and my head coach had to call a timeout because your boy was gassed. Luckily, I think Cooper DeJean is in better shape than I was back then, week 4. I think he's week 20 now for the Super Bowl. So yeah, man, hats off to Cooper DeJean. Zach Bond, man, extraordinary season. Shows up big time in the Super Bowl with an interception. Man, you just love linebacker play, man. Just watching linebackers make plays, especially in the Super Bowl. My boy Oren Burks, who's not gonna get talked about by anybody, but hey, that's one of my dogs, man. Showing up for the Eagles, back-to-back Super Bowls, and then coming back and winning this one. I gotta tip my cap to him. OB, man. But yeah, it just looked like for Zach, man, just the instincts, you know, of playing the position, being in the right spot. Obviously the pressure, getting to Mahomes, and not him being able to make a good throw. You capitalize on those plays, and he made an outstanding catch. Don't try to take away from the type of catch that he made. I mean, he had to go out there and lay out for it. Like, it's big boy ball that's being played out there. You know, everybody's kind of got their own little opinion on Jalen Hurts. I can only speak to what I see, right? And a lot of people, me included, thought that it would require, in order for the Philly to win this game, it's going to require Saquon to go for 200 yards, just like he's been doing, because he's had an extraordinary season, and they've jumped on his back, and as they've all gone to the Super Bowl. So of course everybody's thinking, hey, we need Saquon to have a big game. He, you know, had not a bad game by any means. Saquon had a good game, but it wasn't like the Saquon game that everybody was accustomed to, right? But Jalen Hurts, man, I mean, just a phenomenal game. I think people were talking about that was the best game of his career in the biggest moment. And, you know, he had that touchdown to A.J. Brown, put him to 24-0, and like the pressure that they applied to Kansas City to now have to press to make plays, and the defense swarming. It was just collective effort, man. I mean, it was just you can't do nothing but tip your cap. They did their thing. Again, Jalen Hurts to Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith, Heisman Trophy winner, national champion, and now Super Bowl champion. I mean, that's insane resume. I think he was only 26. It's kind of nuts. Chiefs, it just felt like nothing could work for him. You know, there was drop passes by multiple guys on their team, and you got to obviously make the plays when they're there in the Super Bowl. You can't, you know, you can't fool around with a team that like Philly that got some power to them in all phases, and they couldn't get the run game going. So then you put all the pressure on Pat to make these plays, which ultimately end up in some of the caused turnovers. You know, they're hitting them, they're getting to them. They weren't able to convert on third down. They weren't able to convert on fourth down to extend drives. You're putting your defense out there even longer, and it's only a matter of time before you wear down. So, man, you know, ultimately, I think the Eagles defense just disrupted his timing, disrupted their entire flow as an offense, and it was rush and coverage. Let me say that as well. I mean, the coverage was on point in the back, and I didn't get to see the coach's copy of the film, but the boys was sticky in the back end to allow the D-line to get home after that first, you know, hitch and Patrick's drop. So I think as anybody, especially me, who has been in those games with the Chiefs, you see how the game's unfolding early on, and yeah, I mean, the Eagles are getting after them, but you can never take Kansas City out of it. Even going into halftime, I think they were down, what was it, 24-0 maybe, and you never assume that they're out of it because it's Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes, and you don't want to let them get within, you know, that with the whole thing of letting them get within one score and how good they are in those moments. But the Eagles did a great job of just keeping the foot on the gas and not even allowing them to have that type of momentum to get back in the game. So huge Super Bowl win for the Eagles, 40-22. I'm not happy about it. Let's just put that out there. I'm not happy. I wouldn't have been happy with either team winning. However, you still got to tip your cap in respect for those who go out there and take care of business. So, yeah, I'm not going to say congratulations either, but, you know, there's love there for the guys that know that. So the Experian app's ability to help you get control over your credit and finances is a real game changer. Speaking of game changers, my two game changers of the game, Jalen Hurts, of course, man, I got to give my Experian Game Changer Award to the Super Bowl MVP for the way that he performed. 293 total yards of offense and 3 total touchdowns, man. Came up in a big way in the biggest moment. So my award goes to him, as well as the entire defensive unit. I know it's hard to single out just one guy on that group, but everybody kind of played together to come with 6 sacks and 3 turnovers. And people talk about defense wins championships. They showed exactly why that's the case. Experian may be changing the game with your finances, but Jalen Hurts and the defensive unit is changing the game on the field. Top performances in the game: Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP, 293 total yards, 3 touchdowns. Phenomenal. Played his best game in the biggest moment. Cooper DeJean, pick 6 in his first career INT. has been huge for them all year long as a rookie, and made that type of play in his first Super Bowl as a rookie. And I heard it was his birthday, man. That's a heck of a birthday gift right there. I'll tell you what. Josh Sweat, people haven't talked about Josh Sweat a lot. 2.5 sacks. I mean, he was in the conversation for Super Bowl MVP there for a minute. But hey, Jalen was too good in the game. But Josh Sweat, outstanding game, 2.5 sacks. Their entire D-line ate it up. But Josh Sweat capitalized with the 2.5 sacks, as well as Milton Williams, 2 sacks. I don't even think people even knew about Milton Williams before this game a whole lot, except for guys who actually know the game and have played against their team. But a lot of the attention goes to Jalen Carter, rightfully so, one of the best in the game already as a young player, interior defender. But Milton Williams showing up with 2 sacks was big time for their D-line as well. That's a wrap on Rearview. Make sure you drop your comments below and stay tuned for more insight from your favorite players.